I don't control how you play your game. I don't control what you put in your game. Unless it hurts somebody, then I have an opinion on it. But for the most part, if you don't like mods, you don't want to play with mods, if you don't want to, change the game in any way, then that's fine. You can play however you want.
Troy, welcome to the Becoming a Creator podcast. It's fantastic to have you on here. So many new creators will be listening to this, and I think it's just a privilege you're taking time of your day to tell them about your journey.
No, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love sharing my thoughts and my journey with others, long as you ask, because I'm a big believer, unsolicited, not giving unsolicited advice if you don't, want to hear it. So if you ask me, then I'll be gladly to tell you.
One of the ways we like to kick off the podcast is just a couple of rapid fire questions, just gets us warmed up. The first is, it was just your birthday not too long ago. So happy belated. Did anyone send you any gifts from your community or anything streaming related that you got?
Yeah, actually someone bought something off my gift list that I have, and I have a bunch of manga and plushies on there. So somebody sent me 3 of the manga that I wanted, and they just came in today. I was like, wait, what did I order from Amazon? I was like, oh, okay. I'm kind of excited to have those and add them to the collection, because last year I asked for manga and he bought manga. So they got some more manga this year. So I'm a very simple streamer. I'm a very simple manga and plushies if you really want to get me something.
I love that. Well, you heard it. If you're listening to this, manga and plushies, more of those. They're well appreciated. You've grown your following a lot through Sims 4 mods, from adult content to fun life content enhancements. What's been your favorite mod of all time?
Ooh, my favorite mod, and the one that I'm just blown away, has to be Base Mental Drugs. And it is adult drug mods. I'm just blown away each month with the creativity and the work that mod creators put into the game, because sometimes I'm I didn't even know that was I thought that was impossible, and then they do it.
Most creators keep this in mind, but I think in the beginning stages you can often forget the audience, and you've really thought through having additional YouTube channels. So not just one, but you've got multiple YouTube channels. Can you talk me around your strategy about splitting up your content rather than just having it all in one place? This is where you get Troy. Why did you split it up? What was your reasoning behind splitting up your content?
I noticed, and I've seen, where if you are very niched, like I am, so my niche is The Sims 4, but I go deeper into mods, and that's where I built my platform off of. If I try to put a video out there, say, Apex, The Sims 4 and Apex are completely different spectrums of each other. One's a life simulation. Another one is me cursing and cussing out opponents and shooting people and just stone face. If I try to put that on the channel, everyone's gonna be like, what? What's going on? And my thought process was always, try to, have fun, but also grow the channel as well. You can think of it this way. If you watch a show or you watch a program and you go to it, there's something specifically there caught your attention and they immediately switch it up. How likely are you going to go to that other programming that you originally thought you wanted to watch? I want to do something else, but I also want to keep what I have. So I will continue to give the Sims 4 mods, Sims 4 new updates on this channel. But for the other things that I'm passionate about, I can find an audience and other people that are like me who may also want to watch that. And it also gives the people from that original Sims channel, hey, if you're interested in Valorant, Apex, variety content, other games that I play, then you can come to this channel and watch that. And if you don't, that you don't have to worry about that appearing on your feed. And, we're both happy. I don't have to read, the messages and worry, and, and you can watch what you want to watch. And that's completely fine.
It feels like a lot of people will find their niche and then go, oh my God, I can't do anything else. I'm just stuck. I'm stuck in there. There's nothing. It sounds like you found a good balance. You talked about your reward system where you're let yourself play Valorant, which I love. It's great. But is this your way of making sure that you're having fun?
It totally is, because I've been playing, I was a Sims player when I was little. I started playing Sims when I was 12 with the Sims University. And at that point, I, played it for a little bit. And then 6+ months, I wouldn't touch it. Then I was like, hey, let me go play The Sims. But now that I make content around it, and the content is almost 24/7, especially weekly, and I think, making sure I'm in the loop with Sims at least for the last 3, 4, 5 years. it's become where I need to, distance myself a little bit. And you also get burnt out pretty quickly by doing that. And burnout is real, people. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I like playing games by myself, but I also want to share those games with other people, those other interests that I like, not just The Sims. And I wanted to not only be known for just being a Sims content creator, because I do have other passions in other games and other genres. And that was why I started doing more variety content on Twitch, why I started that second channel, which that second channel was going to be for more Sims content, for Let's Plays, because a lot of people want me to play Let's Plays. But I had to again realize, like, I'm not a Sims 4 Let's Player. I turned that channel into, what it is now. Same thing with the TikTok. The main itsmeTroi TikTok account is Sims related. I'll put some Sims funny things on there. But like, if I try to put a Valorant clip on there, it's not going to do well. So that's why there's a different TikTok account for variety content.
One of the things I noticed when we're digging in is your streams range. They're not just like a set amount of time. They can go anywhere from like 2 hours all the way to 9 hours on the other end. Do you have a routine like post stream that like you got to go through just to kind of come down and like get your energy like recalibrated?
Yeah, I do. So it depends. If I'm on cam, then the wig immediately comes off, like immediately. And then I turn off the colored lights, and then I just turn on my copyrighted music playlist. And then I just get up and I stretch. I go to the bathroom, I get some water. Sometimes, depending on if it's like a really long stream, like recently, GTA RP, 9+ hours, I turn off the computer immediately. But if it's like a 2-hour stream, then it's like, depending on when I actually end, I may have some more work on my schedule that I have to do. But that's usually what it like. The lights go off, the wig comes off, the copyrighted music comes on.
Love it. It's time to wind down and party.
Yeah,
that is a whole thing. I mean, copyrighted music. It's a whole thing. But just talk about your setup. You shared on Instagram, I think it was over a year ago now, maybe 2 years ago at this point, a picture of your old setup versus what you have now. And I'm sure you've added a few things, but what is the biggest change, like game changer for you when upgrading your equipment?
So, we all start off with like maybe one monitor on a laptop, maybe. And then when you're doing more, the multitasking of trying to use editing software or trying to look at Twitter or use social media channels, or you're trying to like answer emails, popping back and forth, having just one screen and then one window. It's not really good for multitasking. And for me, adding in like the multiple monitors. So currently I have 3 monitors, and like they're usually all busy, even if I'm not streaming or editing. Like I'll have email up on one monitor, my main here, my schedule on the other. If I'm streaming, OBS has its own dedicated monitor, unfortunately. The game has its own monitor, and then another monitor has stream elements, my GoXLR app, the Stream Deck app, Spotify, which I, use my non-copyrighted music for, and I just play it through Spotify. And, having that monitors, because I like to multitask and I like to do everything at once, and I'm very organized. So having those monitors was a big game changer for me. I can go back to one monitor. 2 is a stretch, but having 3, and, if I find a graphics card that, can have four slots, then I would definitely have 4 monitors.
Do you ever, when you're like I gotta focus, I gotta just get this done, do you ever just like put one monitor on and like only like zone in, or are you like pretty good? You can lock in even with multiple around you?
I'm pretty good. The only thing is I have to put my phone face down and away from me. Because if I'm editing, I can get easily distracted easily. So if I hear a ping, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" Especially if it's something I don't want to do. I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" And now I have to be like on a reward system with myself. So it's like if I'm doing like grueling work, it's like, Troy, you cannot play Valorant until you finish this. Troy, you cannot play Apex until you finish this. You can't go and play Persona 5 on your couch until you finish this. You can't go take that nap that you really want to take until you finish this. And once I finish it, I actually go do those things.
I love that. It's such a good way to have a system. You talked about editing. When I was looking through your videos, they're all so well edited. Like the editing, the graphics is like really good. What's your process when you go to post-production?
Last year, I actually had some editors to help me out. So having editors, the post-production was I record the video. I actually do have a schedule. I use Airtable, which anybody can use any kind of spreadsheet, whatever, to keep track of things. So I'll plan out the video when I'm recording it, when I am going to edit it, when it comes out, like a due date, and I had due dates for them. And they'll know like the time frame when this need to cut down, because it could be like from 20 to 30 minutes of recorded content, or if it's like a stream cut down, they'll know like when to like have that cut down. I still use that for myself to keep track. So I would send that off to them and they would, edit, give it back. And for me personally, for post production, still the same way. I give myself a due date. I tell myself when this video is going to come out. I would, go in. I will have my layout, my workspace, which is very comfortable to me. So like, again, the multiple monitors, like I have Adobe Premiere just spread out in 3 different monitors and, timeline in front of me. I know what I want. So I have like intro, I have my outro. I know how I say my intro, which all my videos start off the same way. So that's good. If it's a mod video, then it's like I need to make sure I have, creator name, what the mod is, have that graphic for that now. Also make sure I transition between, going from mod to mod. If it's a news video, I need to plan out if I'm going to be on camera for that, or if I'm going to just do a voiceover. If I'm going to do a voiceover, then I need to make sure I have screenshots. I need to make sure I have a background for that. And one thing with editing is like, make sure you're telling a story that others can easily follow, because you could follow it because you created it, but you have to make sure the audience is following along and that they understand it. And on YouTube, you have to make sure, you get that watch time, okay? Because if people don't understand something, then they're going to leave and you're going to be like, wait, what's going on? It's like, you weren't clear enough. What's going on here?
You've got a lot of systems that you've set up. Was there something in your past that led you to designing those systems, or was it just iteration? You're like, I can make this a little better each time.
I have a degree in journalism, and with that, I led my college newspaper for a total of like 4 years. 2 years at the community college where I started from, and then 2 years at the Ford University where I had transferred to. Before I transferred, I was like their web editor, so I was still like doing that. But it was a weekly print publication. And with that, you have to be well organized. So we were planned the print paper 2 weeks in advance. So every week it will be a new paper that we planned while we're still getting the paper that come out that week in order. And with that, it was multiple editors, production, it was photographers, making sure, which ads, we had an ad revenue. Also, we were trying to be daily online as well. So it was a huge staff, also distribution as well. So I'm a very detailed, organized person, and that just kind of carried over with my content creation, which a lot of people, sometimes you don't really use your degree after you get it. For me, sometimes I use the habits I got from the newspaper. Sometimes I use the journalistic skills I got from there when I do my Sims mod videos, my Sims 4 news videos. That's where that comes from. It's just, me just being very detailed, organized, and making sure everything's written down, especially I'm getting older and I forget everything and I have to write it down.
Even though you've not been a creator as long, you've been training effectively in all previous jobs. I love how that like plays in. Games go through these seasons where like sometimes it's really interesting, sometimes it's just boring. Like there's just nothing has happened and you're just like, I'm like really pulling to get like content out of this. In that scenario, what do you do?
I usually see what I can like on my schedule, because I have a lot of Sims 4 mod content, and sometimes there is a drought with that, or sometimes like I don't want to do it. So I've started just like any idea I have for the Sims, I started just writing that down anyway. And if I get the courage to like put something different out on that channel that I know is like not a lot of people may not watch this because that's not what they watch me for, but some people might enjoy that, then I'll do that type of content. And, I just have to like step away from it. Like, Troi, it's fine. You enjoyed it. It may not you get the same reaction as your mods. At least you're happy with that.
What do you say to people that don't use mods? If they're like, I just don't agree with mods, I'm not going to use them, and like might even criticize people that do use mods in their content. Have you encountered that?
I've encountered some people, and then of course on Twitter when I'm scrolling through and reading things that happen, and at that point I'm like, that's what you want to believe. I don't control how you play your game. I don't control what you put in your game unless it hurts somebody. Then I have opinion on it. But for the most part, if you don't like mods, you don't want to play with mods, if you don't want to, change the game in any way, then that's fine. You can play however you want. And that goes for, there was a debate about Alpha CC and Maxis CC, which is Alpha is more realistic. Maxis is more to how EA and Maxis create their content. It's like you play whatever you want to play with. You don't like this pack, that's fine. If you like this pack, that's fine. You look at it, you see how if you like it or not, and you go get it if you want to. Again, at the end of the day, it's your money. At the end of the day, it's your computer, it's your game. And we all have different likes. We all have different opinions. As long as you're not rude to others, then do what you want. Okay, just do what you want.
People just like find a reason to be upset in online sometimes.
Social media is a very cruel place. Sometimes I find myself that I have to step away from it because I get so upset at what's happening sometimes, or the arguments that are coming, or the words that are said to people. And it's like, you just have sometimes just step away, because the online world, it can mess with you. And you have to remember that sometimes everything is not as it appears. Sometimes you don't have all the facts. Sometimes you don't know everything. And, to not let something that happened online really affect you in a negative way. And if you need to reach out for help, then you do that.
Have you found anything that grounds you and kind of brings you back to you?
At a certain point, I'm like, turn off the PC. Like, I sit in this chair hours upon hours. I stare at this monitor hours upon hours. And like physically, it's like taking toll, like back problems, eye strain. But usually just turning off the PC, put my phone in my bedroom, and I'm here and I'm like, oh, I don't have my phone. It's okay. Somebody messages me, somebody sends a DM, I'll see it in a minute. I don't need to go and get it. I don't need to always have it attached to my hand. A lot of people don't know this, but when it comes to like social media, I don't really like it that much. Even in college, when, we had to use it for the newspaper, I had to force myself to use it and force myself to learn how to utilize those platforms. If I can just post to YouTube, post to Twitch, not have to post anywhere else, I'll be completely fine.
You talked about collaborating with other creators, and you play a lot of the RP games, so it's a big part of it. We often get asked this question in the beginning, which is, how the hell do I find people to play with? I'm nobody. I'm not someone online yet. How do I find people to play with? Is there anything you would say to someone who's like just starting out and trying to find other people to collaborate with, especially on like content like RP?
I would say to join communities like Discord communities, Facebook communities, where others are playing the same game as you. When I started streaming Valorant and playing Valorant, a lot of people didn't know what Valorant was. And, they started playing Valorant. I think a lot of them started loving Valorant. They started spending money with me on Valorant. Which, if you part of my community and you started playing Valorant because of me and you started spending money on Valorant, sign this waiver. I'm not liable. You're welcome, Riot. Finding those communities and, just saying hi. And like when people are, others are playing, just ask. The worst they can say is like, we're full right now. And then you'd be like, okay, I'll come back next time. Or, find other, ask yourself like, hey, does anybody want to play? That's how my community is set up. You come in there and you're like, I want to play this game. Anybody playing this game? Usually if I'm available, I will say, yeah, I'll play with you. Others would too. So yeah, just find those Discords.
You've got over 21,000 members in your Discord, and you've cultivated that community over the years. What has worked? Like, how have you cultivated such a great community?
I figured out a long time ago what I liked and what I enjoyed and how I can make something better. So mods, teaching people how to mod. Also, the game, The Sims 4 goes through many updates. And when that happens, mods break. And a lot of people don't know if a mod is broken. They don't know if a mod is updated. Also, a lot of people like to CC shop. And they like to just talk about the game, show their pictures. I am a huge lurker right here. I lurk in streams. I lurk on Twitter. I lurk in my own Discord. Knowing others want that as well is how I cultivated that. The hardest part is maintaining it because, the bigger you get, the more people, and making sure like the team that I have is compensated as well because they are volunteers.
Yeah, now you got a team around you. Talking about success, and just you recently hit over 1 million views on one of your videos.
Yeah.
We'll leave up what the video is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you did say like you sound so different from back then to how you sound now. What has been like the kind of evolution of that for you? And you're not like the same streamer as you were 4 years ago. Is there things that you wish you avoided in the early days that you maybe know now?
To be honest, no, because some of those experiences I couldn't learn and evolve without those. And it's mainly confidence and mainly just realizing that it's not going to be perfect when I first do it. So stop stressing about it and just post it. And with going live and streaming, I had to, you look fine, Troy. You sound okay, Troy. The only thing I get really mad about is like my audio's messed up, and then I really like get mad and don't want to stream because my audio is messed up. I'm a firm believer is like people can watch a shitty video but cannot listen to shitty audio. Some personal experiences, perhaps, but like when it comes to content creating, like the journey and the fun of it is learning as you go along. And I believe that if you can look back and you're different to where you were before, then you've learned and you've grown, and you can say without a doubt, like, hey, that what I did there, that was crap. Okay. This what I have now is much better. And then probably, years after saying that, like saying something like, well, I did that 5 years ago now, and that's crap. And now this is much better. You don't have to try and get perfect the first time. Just learn and grow as you continue going.
I look forward to you clipping this in 4 years' time and just like putting it back in, like, oh my god, was that who I was back then? Yeah. I'm just kidding. You're a part of the YouTube's Black Creator Fund, which is super cool opportunity. Incredible to be chosen to be a part of that. What does it mean for you as a person, as a creator, to be a part of something like that?
They notice, and the platform is taking notice in other Black creators, trying to help, trying to elevate, trying to give us the tools to continue going on this content creation journey. And to be honest, I was kind of like, am I going to get in? Thousands upon thousands of others are applying, and little me with my Sims channel, it was worth the shot, And when I got it, I was like, oh, okay, they said yes to me. Okay, that's usually what it means to me. And it's like, everything I worked for is, even when I got the 100K plaque, it's like everything I've worked tirelessly for, it's made sense. And it's like, glad I didn't give up at like 2 a.m. with a bottle of Jameson. And just like, let me look through LinkedIn. Let me get a 9 to 5 real quick.
I mean, that's real. That's real. That it's like, it's not, making up. That's the stuff. That's the hard part, right? It's pushing through some of those times. What advice would you have to a Black female streamer who's just starting out, they're early in their journey?
Anybody that says you don't belong in this space, tell them to kindly shut the fuck up. Literally. You're not hurting anyone. You're enjoying what you're enjoying. Literally block them. That's literally what the block button is for. Don't even engage, because unfortunately they're going to keep coming and coming and coming and coming. And unfortunately we have to just block them. I wish we could just tell them once and for all, like, we're here to stay. We belong here just as much as you do. I don't know what I'm doing to you, but it's nothing. It's literally nothing. I'm just enjoying my time right here and continue about your business, babe.
Amen. We're now 5 months 5 months now into 2022. What are it's flown in. What are some things you're looking forward to for the rest of this year?
I am looking forward to evolving the main channel a little bit more. I'm putting out more content not related to mods to, have it not rely on mods a lot, because I've noticed like sometimes there's a mod drought and it's like, oh, I don't have any content this week. Some people that watch me are like, can we get a challenge? Can we get this? Can we get that? And I'm like, okay, at first I'm like, y'all do know I can't build to save my life. I would literally just build a box each challenge and call it art. And you're like, Troy, that's not good. And I'm like, I totally agree. Stop asking. Just having more fun streaming, playing more games. I started Ghostwire not too long ago. I have Tiny Tina on the backlog ready to go once I get, but of course now I'm doing GTRP and that takes a lot of hours. And I'm like, oh, wow, not a lot of days, not enough time in the day to GTRP and play Ghostwire. If I could play both at the same time, like literally simultaneously, have 2 streams up. itsmeTroi is currently live playing GTRP. itsmeTroi is currently playing Ghostwire. I'm like, what's going on? Then I would do it. Growing and just learning more and, just seeing where else, this content creation journey takes me and seeing, what can I go into next and evolve. Cause I know like being a content creator, I can't, do it forever sometimes. And it's like, I do have other interests, maybe go back into my roots, which is journalism, or somewhere that helps other content creators, or I don't know, but I'm starting to think about that. Like I just had a birthday, I'll be 30 next year, and just like the years are going by pretty fast. Okay, I could have sworn I just graduated college, and that was 5 years ago, and I'm like, wow, okay, that was wow.
The beauty of where you are and what you're doing is it opens a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Which is the beauty, and you get to kind of chart your own path and your own destiny, being in the seat that you're in, which is an awesome amount of control. So I'm really excited to kind of watch your journey unfold and whatever it is that you do throughout the rest of the year.
Oh, thank you.
Where can the community find you if they want to find you online?
Another tip: the screen name that you make for yourself, have it on all platforms. So you can find me on almost every platform at itsmeTroi, or itsmeTroi 2 for the variety content, and that's 2 with TOO. Oh, also, you get a website, get your domain now, because somebody will take your domain like they did with me.
Oh,
and
they
hold
did?
it for ransom. Yes, I do not own itsmeTroi.com. Somebody got it before I did, and they hold it for ransom. They want you to pay to get that.
Have you got in touch with that person?
I go through GoDaddy, and they're, you're like, we can contact them for you for a huge price, and I'm like, they can keep it. They can keep it. It's been about 3-4 years now. I don't know how long they bought the domain for, but I don't own itsmeTroi.com. So
you gotta wait for like the when the renewal comes and you're like sitting there like ready to pounce at midnight. Like I gotta get this.
Right? Yep.
Cool, Troy, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on. This is going to help so many creators, so thanks for taking the time.
No, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope, my advice helped. Last thing, just take everything I say with a grain of salt. You're an individual person. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. You get to pick and choose any advice that you want. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Dig it. Awesome, Troy. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I wanted to just end this with a little bit of context on why we do what we do. We're former content creators ourselves, and we just really want to help as many content creators as we can. That's why we started Pipeline.gg. It's a platform where you can find other like-minded creators and learn from the pros who have already been there. Get step-by-step guidance so you can avoid all the mistakes that we made in the beginning. If you love the episode, there's going to be even more inside of Pipeline. So check it out. Head over to Pipeline.gg.